I think that in the stage where I am now, it's really interesting to have men sitting in my world in a very free kind of way. You know, it's an independent company, and it's an approach that I like in relation to the place that I have now at Dior, which is a very big corporate institution. And so I think it's a lot about experiment, and it's a lot about freedom, and it's a lot about working on a process to see how the perception of men's can be changed. Men's fashion in general is rather complicated in the last decade, and we see a lot of collections which are based on garde-robe. You know, it's more about a very commercial approach. Men that buy fashion, they show a strong interest in women fashion. I think in the last 5, 6, 7 years it's becoming very strong, and for me it's clearly meaning that they are out for something which is a little bit more challenging. It was a very well considered choice of me to go to Dior, to see that part of the fashion world, meaning a brand with an impactful historical package. The contrast is probably what I'm out for, as I was always doing a lot of different things in the past as well. Like even before Jill Sander, when I was having my own brand, I was also art curating, for example, or I was teaching at the university for 5 years in Vienna. So I need to have that contrast. I think it is very challenging for me to not be every day in the same situation. I was confronted in a very young age with specifically one show from Martin Margiela, his third show, and it had a very, very big impact on me, because before that time I was looking around a little bit in fashion, and I think more as a person who definitely was interested in buying clothes for myself, but not so much further than that. I wasn't really looking at fashion from an intellectual point of view. I was rather perceiving it quite, you know, like maybe too much on the surface for me. That's maybe something that is not for me. And that show of Martin changed the whole thing. Martin was not showing on a high stage. It was not about glamour. It was very linked to the street and very linked to the social awareness, I think. And it was emotional and conceptual and psychological. In fashion you don't do things alone, so it's very much about collaboration, and it's very much about creating your own kind of family, and together you build something. So in that sense I can cope with it. I'm not gonna say it's not heavy, it is a lot of work. I don't think fashion is a place anymore, and it can still again evolve to it, but fashion in this moment in time is not a place where you can just step in and you make some things and let's see how it goes. It just doesn't work like that anymore. I would not want that the possibility for me to be creative is taken away because I'm attacking a system. That's not how I function. That's not how I am. I like to do it too much. You know, I really like to design, I really like to be creative. I am really thankful to be given the opportunity to create my own brand and to take on other brands as a creative director. I think it's almost ridiculous what's happening. And I think most creative people, most designers will see it like that for themselves. Lots of things are taken away through the change of the system. You know, like curiosity, patience, it's all taken away because everything is instant. But it's not to blame business people that are in charge of brands or groups or stores that want to have a lot of product. It's not to blame that, it's just the way the world's changing. It's not only in fashion, it's changing. Are we talking clothes? Are we talking fashion? Because there's so much, you know, there were so much different levels. High fashion, the way I am attracted to it, cannot be for everybody. Sometimes I think though, I'm a huge fan of young people coming in the business because I think that it's only the young generation who can clearly change it. all the people that are already into it, they are too far into it. You know, you cannot just switch that anymore. If there was one thing that I think that we did not do when we started, we didn't follow the structure at all. Obviously in the mid-90s there was also already an existing structure and an existing system. I didn't even know about that system, so maybe that's why we didn't follow the system. We definitely did not step into. I mean, I didn't even show my collection on the runway for 4 seasons. One thing will always be, and that I find the strength and the beauty of fashion. Fashion wants new all the time.